Okay, guys, how you guys doing today? All right, so I usually don't do these things, but lately we've been. A lot of people don't know I'm huge on sports. Talk about everything a little bit, but very huge on sports. Been huge on sports for years. This is about Caitlin Clark. Uh, a lot of things that come up, the comparison to LeBron James, the comparison to Steph Curry, and I just want to get out here and just give my perspective on what's going on. Number one, I just want to say that Caitlin Clark will be fine when she transitions to the WNBA. She will be more than fine. She actually will be great. I cannot imagine an owner drafting Caitlin and not putting her in a predicament to win. In other words, when they draft her, um they're going to put her in a place where her shooting style, her playing style will be not only appreciated but will be utilized effectively, I should say. Now, let's just get to the nitty-gritty of it. All right, here we go. So with this, I'm gonna do her pros and I'm gonna do her things she needs to work on. I'm not gonna say cons. I'm gonna do her pros and the things that she needs to work on. All right. So her pros. Her first thing is her shooting percentage is very high. She comes down. She can pop from almost anywhere. So I think that she'll do really fine in that perspective when she transitions to the pros. She will be okay. She once again, Caitlin Clark will be okay when she transitions to the NBA because she has a high shooting percentage, and I think they'll utilize her on a pick and pop, and she'll be all right. She can shoot well from out, deep, and she can shoot well from mid range. So she has a great shot. So she'll be okay. The second thing she'll be great in. Um, as I said, her depth and her shooting. She has a high shooting percentage. She is a good passer. She's not a great passer. She's a good passer. What is a good passer versus a great passer? A good passer is someone who can pass with and pass to the place where the defense gives them. In other words, it's sort of like if basketball is 5-on-5. If two of the defenders came over to her, that means that one man is open because there'll be two on her, and that will be one man open. So she'll pass well to the open player. She'll always pass well to the open player. So she'll be fine in that case. All right. So getting through these quickly. All right. These are her pros. And I got down here as a pro also is that she will be a good leader. She's a good leader. In other words, she keeps morale up. She keeps people going. She cheers as she goes. She's in people's ear as she goes. So she will be a great leader. She will be a good leader. She don't have to be the overall leader when she comes in. She just have to be enough in order to let the other teammates know that, hey, we got this. Hey, I got this. Hey, you got this. So it's good because everyone has a part to play, right? So whether it's rebounding, you cheer them on. Whether it's defense, you cheer them on. Whether it's offense, you cheer them on. So that's the way it's going to work for her in basketball. So she's going to have a great career wherever she goes. Because once again, I cannot imagine that you would draft a player who is as influential as Caitlin Clark and you not get where you need to go. All right. It's impossible. I'm gonna tell you. If you do, that is a coaching and a ownership failure. It will not be her fault. It will be their fault. All right. And I'm saying this in the sense of if she can stay exactly the way she is. Now, she does need improvement. I'm gonna give you those right now. She needs improvement. And here comes the improvement. Number one, Caitlin Clark hates people who play close defense on her. She hates people who play close defense on her. If you played her right hand the whole game, her percentage will go way down. If you played her right hand the whole game, not in front of her, just play on her right side. Just get on her right side and just ride that right hand out because she will have a tough time. The next thing is her weakness. She has a weak left hand. So if I'm playing on her right hand, she has to then defer to her left hand. Her left hand is good for scoop shots. Amen. Scoop finger rolls. So she has to work on that. She has to work on her left hand handle, and she has to work on her not being so pressed and overwhelmed by defense. We've seen the defense actually take her down in the championship game. She had 18 points in the first quarter, but in the following three quarters, she only averaged 4 points per quarter. That means she got to 30 points, but that 12 points came on 4 points per quarter, and we can't have that when you're supposed to be a high volume shooter. It had nothing to do with her stamina, because remember, her stamina depends on her defense. She doesn't play defense. Which leads me to the next one, is that she doesn't play defense well. She has lazy feet when it comes to defense. She has lazy effort when it comes to defense. We've seen in the previous year where the person she waved off is the same person who D'd her up this year for South Carolina, right? So we've seen that her defense is lazy. Don't get me wrong, her feet are quick. She's north-south quick. She's not lateral quick. So all right. Once she get her momentum, she can go, but she's not lateral quick. All right. So, but she needs to learn how to play defense, so she become a liability. Unlike Luka in the NBA, if I scored 30, if Luka scored 30 and I scored 30, that would be like you're canceling each other out. Caitlin will have a harder time than Luka, because Luka is a better shooter than Caitlin. Therefore, he's a better shooter than a lot of people in the NBA. So that's why it looks like Luka will have more of an advantage on the Imano than Caitlin will. All right, because her defense is so poor. Even though Luka's defense is poor too, but Luka has a higher shooting percentage than Caitlin. All right. I know I'm doing sports. People are not used to this. I'm high on sports. Okay. So, but I wanted to get to this because I think people are over, just treating this young lady a little bit too harshly in some areas. All right. Now she will. So another thing she needs to work on is, all right, I said she has lazy D. It's the way she shoots. In the WNBA is like the old NBA, where they play defense. They play more in-your-face defense. She pulls the ball straight up from her waist. Well, that's an easy pick. Somebody can just slap it out your hands. And plus, she shoots with her hands on the sides of the ball. Since she said so when they slap the ball out her hand, it's going to be easy to strip her. It'll be very easy to strip her. Very easy. You can strip her, especially in NBA and in the WNBA. And plus, they're going to put somebody with a little bit more size, because it's already been proven that the girl who had a little bit more size than her played her well. The girl had quick feet, and it frustrated her. Another thing she has to work on is her dribbling. What's wrong with her dribbling? She dribbles with the ball in front of her. That's why she got picked 2 times. And that's a sign of her not being willing to adapt. So she just worked on, she played. I can tell she does a lot of backyard playing, because she plays with that ball way in front of her. If you notice, and since that ball is way in front of her, if you press her, what is a press? Press means that you stay close to her coming up the court. A lot of those bombs she shoot ain't gonna work, because you'll be on her. And then you play the right hand, you're really gonna get her, because she doesn't really, a lot of people can't shoot with their offhand. LeBron can do it because he's ambidextrous, but a lot of people can't do that, and they only can do it from a certain point on the floor, not from way out. Usually if you're ambidextrous, you can shoot like a jump shot from like 30 feet, 25, 30 feet away. It's usually somewhere close where you can have more control of the ball. It's in a shorter range. So she's going to have to work on that. So the way she shoots the ball, her dribbling, her passing. So she is, as I said, she's a good passer, not a great passer. A great passer is someone who can not only take what the defense gives them, but they also can create a pass. They also can create a pass, not only off of the dribble, but also just setting up a play. I think that she'll be better once she gets to the WNBA, because her mental mindset will grow with women who are they just at a different level. A lot of people don't want to hear that. Oh, she's at the level. She's not at that level yet. She's a great shooter. The way she, remember, a lot of her points come from where? She comes down the court and she pops it, right? And then she's in the lane. Since she's become a star, you can't play her the way other people play her. But when she transitions to the WNBA, she's going to have to prove that starship all over again. And when she tried to, what's going to end up happening, because she's one-handed, predominantly one-handed, because she only has, she shoots pulling the ball from her waist, and she likes that contact. That contact is going to be a little bit different. So she's going to be all right. She probably is going to average her first year between 17 and 20, but between 17 and 20 points, which is really great because once again, the ownership and the coaches is going to utilize her correctly. They're not going to just put her out there and let her, just find her way. They're going to utilize her correctly. She needs to work on her core strength because she's too weak. She's too big to be that weak. That's why it was easy for the young lady to block her shot when she got in the lane because her core strength, which comes from your gut, your core strength has to be, you have to be stronger. See, sometimes we rely on, because we see LeBron James relying on his core strength now. Back in the day, LeBron didn't drive down the lane like this. But now since he's older, he got his feet are heavier. So now he has to rely on his core strength, meaning that I'm just going to bully ball you and run to the hole and then lay it up. She has a tough time doing that. A lot of that, she doesn't like a lot of fairy layups. You know what I mean? Like, people stay off of her because you touch her. It's like, they blow the whistle. But it's going to be different in the WNBA. It's going to be a little bit different for her, but she's going to make it. She's going to be fine. She could end up as a great or as a GOAT, but right now she's not. Remember, they compare her to Steph Curry. Well, what's the difference between her and Steph Curry? Well, Steph changed his body. Remember, Steph was like she was when he first came in. He had the weak ankles. He had to get his ankles in shape. And then he would drive. And then all of a sudden people started beating him up after he would do his drive. He used to do his little shimmy and all that other stuff. But what ended up happening in the long run, Steph had to change his body type. And so we've seen in the last 3 years, Steph start to lift weights. See how broad his shoulders are now? He has put himself in a position to grow in that area. Caitlin, she's going to have to, she don't have to do like he do. He don't have to become buff, but she has to get stronger. So she has to get stronger. She could become a better passer. She has to learn how not to dribble with the ball directly in front of her. She's going to continually get stripped, especially in the WNBA. And she has to learn how to play with close defense on her because she has a problem with people playing defense closely on her. She loses to the fairy defense, people playing well off. As soon as you seen somebody play up close, it was a problem. It was a real problem. And to act like we don't see that, then you're not really a sports fan. If you can't take criticism, LeBron had to take criticism. Remember, I said this, I got this documented years ago. LeBron suffered from anxiety. He won't tell you that, but he does. Because remember when they called LeBron a choke in the fourth quarter, he wasn't just choking. He has anxiety. If you remember in the championship series, the first time they played Golden State Warriors when he went back to Cleveland, we seen Steph Curry strip LeBron. Now, how could Steph Curry, and that's when Steph was a little Steph too, slap the ball out of LeBron's hands, and LeBron had the ball in two hands under the court about to go up. You know how? Because, and that was in the last minutes of the game. We see that because LeBron has anxiety. Anxiety attacks you without provocation. Anxiety can attack you without provocation. So it's nothing, you don't know when it's coming. It can just come and you can start getting weak legs and wobbly. And in the fourth quarter, I guess that is provocation. The fourth quarter comes, you see that LeBron used to get a little wobbly and weak-kneed in the fourth quarter. We've seen it in Dallas. He had to work through it. He still suffers from it. He won't tell you that, but I got visible proof that he suffers from anxiety. And I documented this well over 6 years ago. Just seeing him on the court, I know that he suffers from anxiety. But anyway, nevertheless, she'll get better. The WNBA will grow. No, she's not compared to Tiger Woods. Completely different. She pulled people over who was already watching basketball. Tiger Woods pulled people over who wasn't watching golf. That's the difference. He pulled over African Americans by the droves to watch and to participate in golf. But Caitlin is pulling other Americans who were already watching basketball, NBA, and they came over to watch the WNBA as well the small percentage that came over that was never watching basketball are the same people who probably watched the NFL when Taylor Swift was showing up. It was a lot of people, but it's not to the point where that she was influencing people to do a certain thing. It was more about jersey sales and getting a different audience. Tiger Woods influenced a whole race of people, which is a multi-billion-dollar thing, with African Americans coming in. But she's really influenced people who are already here, who are already watching basketball for the most part. The newbies that's coming, they're newbies. That's what they are. They're newbies. They're not. And the newbies are small, but the large portion that Caitlin is pulling over, they already watch basketball. They already are basketball heads. So that's the difference. Caitlin, as I said, Caitlin will be fine. She just have to work on it's a lot of things, but it's a few things, but it's a lot of things. You know what I mean? When she work on them, she will be fine. It's all right. It's all right for us to critique her game, to critique her, what she does and how she does it, because that's just what it is. You can't fabricate it. You can't try to, like rehash it. Like, oh my God, you can't believe, Caitlin's doing something we've never seen before. Stop. Oh, you can root for the girl. It's all right. Root for it. It doesn't matter. It's ball. It's all fun and it's all fun in business. I ain't gonna say fun in games. It's fun in business now. But basketball, it's a great sport. I love basketball. I played when I was growing up. As I said, Caitlin is going to be fine. She's going to impact the game a little bit. Not like people think. She's not going to come in and run roughshod over people. Once again, her core is too weak. Caitlin's core is too weak to impact people like that. Her core is too weak. She dribbles with the ball in front of her. Another thing. She shoots she bring the ball straight up like this with her hands on either side of the ball, which means that the opponent can slap the ball out of her hand without it being a foul. So it's a lot of things that where her game needs a lot of work. She's a good passer, meaning that she takes what the defense gives them. When people come over to her double teamer, she passes it to the open person or the person cuts and she leads them and they think that, oh, that was a great pass. No, a great pass is when you see that your big man only can make layups like 2 or 3 feet away from the basket. And what you do is you go over and you pull his man over to you and then you lob it over to him. That's a great pass. Why? Because you're now recognizing what your man needs and you recognizing in order for them to get involved with the game. So that makes it a great pass. It's not only aesthetics, but it's also mind games and building your teammates up. So it's little things that Kate has to work on. She'll be all right. A lot of things, man. I gotta do Angel Reese next, but she has to work on because she has some things she has to work on too, baby. I'm telling you, she her shooting style, how she shoots under the basket. So I'm Brother D. Listen, I hope this was good for you guys. Please share, like, subscribe. I know this is a gospel station, but I'm sharing the truth, at least about basketball right now. All right. Much love to you guys. See you guys on Saturday. I got Dietrich Hatton coming on with me. All right, y'all. Holla back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.